Hey folks, Aaron here. Welcome back to an anime review. Today we're looking at episode 8 of Violet Evergarden. Now, I will say this week was another solid episode, and what's funny is that it didn't do a lot differently than what we've seen so far from the previous episodes of Violet Evergarden. It really was more so to show the past, and really the point up to how Violet got to know the Major, how she started learning from the Major, I think even how the Major started feeling for Violet. I don't want to say there was romance between them. I think maybe for Violet there's a form of love because, the Major was so kind to her, but equally, the Major, I think, legitimately just felt bad for Violet. He saw her as this girl who was just a normal girl put into a situation where she had to become a killing machine for war because she's had such great combat skills and was able to, do all these amazing feats during combat. And how everyone treated her, even how people treat her currently, it goes to show you that, you see that Violet is a soldier, but equally she wasn't always a soldier. She was possibly just a normal girl at one time that was dragged into the war, as we see in the very beginning of this episode. And, we also switch back and forth between the past and the present at times where we see Violet in the, current situation dealing with the Major's quote-unquote death pretty poorly. She's really flipping out about it. She really just does not want to believe it's possible. And she even goes to the grave, and the only thing that they say is that we only found the dog tags, meaning that there was no body discovered. It's possible he did live. It is possible. Yet, the very end of the episode is where I almost second-guess myself at him living because of the fact that you see Violet looking at an enemy soldier shoot the Major in the head. And while we do know that he was hurt really bad prior to the explosion, was that after the explosion or was that before the explosion? That's what I'm trying, because we saw that he had no arm and all that, so it could be before that. It could be. But, I don't know. It's like his wounds, if that was before the explosion happened, and that was the scene before Violet and him were on the staircase together, within the last moments together, then he was already basically almost dead. If he survived that and then had also survived those stuff and the explosion, I don't think it's possible for him to have lived. And I think Violet inside of her mind probably somehow realizes this, or is going to eventually realize this, I should say, because she saw that happen to him. And I'm like, oh man, because that would suck. I feel like Violet has come so far as a character now. I initially was giving the show a lot of shit because, for me, Violet Evergarden had this thing where I felt like it could do so much more with the characters and just even the story and the world that we had so far. And with the last 4 episodes, last 3 episodes so far, I've really loved it because the stories have been really good and overall very, very emotional. So, it's been definitely getting, for me at least, improved vastly. But I hope that this right here is where we're going to see the show take its biggest turn. And for a good thing. I mean, for her character, it's going to probably be what pushes her to the furthest extent of her character. We're going to start seeing her deal with all this emotional, backlash of trying to figure out, how is she going to deal with the passing of the Major? Will she find him? Will she go on a journey for him? And that's where I'm thinking, you could do so much with this part. And I want to see what Violet Evergarden does with it. I'm very curious about that. But what did you guys think about this episode? I would love to hear from you in the comments below. As always, guys and girls, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, share the video around, like the video, etc. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great, blessed day, everyone. Bye-bye, everyone.